winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas around 3 feet. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Tonight, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Sunday, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Sunday night, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the evening. Monday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then numerous showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Monday night, west winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Tuesday, west winds around 5 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Tuesday night, northwest winds around 5 knots, becoming northeast after midnight. Seas 1 foot or less. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday, east winds around 5 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Winds and seas higher and near thunderstorms. Your coastal waters forecast for the following marine location. Coastal waters from Tarpon Springs to Swanee River out 20 nautical miles. Issued at 1:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Rest of today, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Inland waters and moderate chop.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another NWW 116 live stream. Hope you guys are doing all right here. For today, we got ourselves a little bit of severe weather coverage on the table for you guys this afternoon, this evening. Hope you guys are having an amazing day here so far. Let's go ahead and see who is here in the chat, first of all. Go ahead and give a warm welcome to you guys. We have ourselves Mickey. What's up, Mickey? Hope you're doing all right. Julie's here as well. Jay Minks as well. What's up? Hope you're doing all right. Saying hi there. Hope you're doing all right. Glad to have you here. Let's go ahead and see here. Self-Care says that track, or that intro track is fire. Yeah, it's pretty good. I actually do like that intro track. Anyways, let's go ahead and see here. Sabbath says, what is the risk over Michigan for severe weather over Grand Rapids, Michigan? So, for today, there is no severe weather threat across those areas. You don't got to worry about anything. Anything in St. Louis, Missouri as well. Nothing for you. Let's see. Jackson says, hello. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Florida is getting destroyed by severe weather. I wouldn't go that far by saying it, but I'd say that they're definitely getting a decent amount of, a decent shake from the severe weather here. Let's see here. Spencer says, what's up? What's up? Kamer says, hey, Andrew. What's up? We're doing all right. Jazzy Mom says, hey, Andrew. Please tell me about Springfield, Illinois. The line see some action. So, we're just going to go ahead and dive on into it here, and we'll talk more about that here in 1 second. So, once again, my friends, hope you're doing all right. And I'm going to notice I don't have my shirt on because I actually was washing it. And so I have my trusty old Kentucky hoodie here. Just to spread the overall word there. Let's go and see Proxy already straight off the bat with a $50 donation. Well, thank you so much there, Proxy. Once again, big shout out goes to you, my friend. Proxy saying it's tracking time with Andrew. Your eyes on the skies. Absolutely. Proxy, thank you. Seriously, greatly appreciated. Once again, my friend. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and dive on into what is currently happening here. We're going to turn off the temperature difference here for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys which areas we are watching here for right now. So, give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and launch this pin so I can actually draw on the screen and kind of show you guys what we are talking about here. Anyway, so, yeah, once again, severe weather threat here for today. We do have ourselves a marginal risk here for severe weather, which is a level 1 out of 5. But regardless of what level you're in, it's still considered a severe weather threat and still is something that we do need to watch. So, that severe thunderstorm threat stretches all the way down into portions here of Florida, into portions of eastern Georgia. We're also talking about the Carolinas here as well. We have seen a few flare-up tornado warnings here over the last few hours, which honestly can still be a possibility here as we start to track into the overnight hours in regard to things. But anyways, so that is the thing. Now, the overall main concern for today is actually damaging wind gusts. We have a 5% chance of seeing some damaging wind gusts across the brown shaded color here basically what's going on. We're going to turn off the radar here for 1 second, just so you can better see that risk area here that we do have an effect here for today. So once again, we have ourselves our damaging wind risk across portions here of the brown. Now look at this. Tornado risk is actually broken up into 2 different locations here. Now this does include some pretty populated areas, all the way stretching down here in Florida across portions here, all the way including Orlando, portions of Cocoa Beach, so you can see Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, San Augustine, Lake City, Gainesville. These areas are in a tornado threat here for today. Another risk across portions here of the Carolinas, as I was mentioning here before. Southern North Carolina, inside of a threat here for Fayetteville, portions here of Jacksonville as well. Shifting on down here down to the south a little bit more. Another threat across portions of Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Columbia. Once again, this is our tornado threat for today. I mean, it covers a decent amount of ground. I'm not going to lie with you. Now, this is not no big outbreak or anything like that. It's expected today. That's not what's going on here. It's not like a major outbreak. Basically, what we're looking at for today is a few isolated storms. Some of them could produce a few tornadoes. Some of them could produce some localized damaging wind gusts. That's pretty much what we're talking about in regard to the severe weather for today. In regard to hail, hail's not really a concern for today, which is obviously some good news. I mean, the more factors we don't have, obviously the better, which is obviously good there. But anyways, that is what we're looking at. Let's go and see any severe threat for Pennsylvania tomorrow or Monday. So as of now, in regards to tomorrow's threat here, just a quick little briefing. We're not going to spend too much time on this. There's currently no severe weather threat, although we are watching a cold front drive its way through the region here, obviously delivering, possibility of some thunderstorms across portions of the Ohio Valley. We are going to get a surface low that's going to develop here later on tonight if it's not already doing so now. Continuing to drive that cold front through, we've been seeing a big old burst of air coming down here from the Canadian Maritime, definitely bringing down some cold and pretty dry air across portions here of the central and northern country. Hey, we saw temperatures last night drop down into the 40s. Absolutely cool, especially for this time of the year. I mean, definitely it is getting there. You got to think winter's just around the corner. So obviously that is what we were talking about here. Let's go ahead and see. We got ourselves another question coming through here. Hey, stay safe, all. Says Jay Minks. You too. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and see here. First of all, okay, so apparently my mic is down a little bit. Let's go and try to fix this, actually. I'm going to go ahead and do so right now. Yeah, I am getting some comments saying that. So let's go and do this here really quickly. Let me drag this over here. Let me go ahead and turn up my audio just a little bit. That way you guys can... Oh, that's why. Okay, is it better now? Getting better? Getting a little bit louder? Is this a lot better, guys? Okay, we're going to set it to 75. For some reason, it got set to like 60 something, or sorry, 20 something, which now it should be better. It looks like it's actually almost topping out now. There we go. We'll turn it down just a little bit. But anyway, so that should be fixed now. Let me know how it is. If it's better, let me know. Let's go and see. I think the mic is backwards. No, it's not actually. I don't want to unplug it either. The mute button's facing me, so we're good. Anyways, let's see here. But yeah, so that's what we're looking. Let's go see. I feel like the event happened earlier this afternoon. Well, here's the thing. It's still ongoing. I mean, it's been happening here for the last little bit, but it's still happening. There is still that severe weather threat here for today. And obviously, we are still watching a decent amount of storms here that is currently, kicking off across the way. We're going to go ahead and switch on to the local radar view in regard to a close-up view of what these storms are doing across portions of the way. Let's go ahead and switch over here to the southern North Carolina area here, kind of towards, what is that? Oh, shoot, what's the name of that? Holden, or no, not Holden Beach. Is it? Maybe Holden Beach? I could be right, could be wrong. But anyway, so yeah, we are seeing some pretty nasty storms still ongoing here. Not necessarily severe with some of these, but obviously we are seeing some pretty strong storms regardless. But that's what we're looking at for the most part. We have a pretty strong storm located right here across portions of south central North Carolina, kind of towards east of Fayetteville for the most part. This storm is mostly tracking east here for the most part. Areas of Falcon might be included with this warning here, or this area. I shouldn't say warning because it's not really warned yet, but still, it's a strong storm. It should definitely be looked at. I'm sure regardless, we're seeing lots and lots of possible, lightning being active, or a lot of lightning activity, which could cause a concern in regard to things. Also, other hazards, with these thunderstorms. Now, regardless of this system, there's actually a flash flood warning, a couple of them in place across portions here of central North Carolina, delivering that possible threat here of maybe some severe weather, or maybe some flooding, I should say, which is considered severe weather to be possible. And we are seeing a considerable flood threat across portions here of Spring Lake, Lillington, portions of Rayford. We are seeing a considerable threat. Basically, what this is talking about is between 2 and 4 inches of rain has already fallen across some of these areas here. And honestly, flash flooding flooding can definitely be a result as of this, especially across those low-lying areas. I mean, we're talking those creeks, streams, highways, underpasses, any low-lying areas. Definitely does have that possibility of seeing some of that flooding action. So, but anyway, so that's what's going on over there. Obviously, a little bit of flooding. More down to the south towards Charlotte, we have another cell. This one's actually it's actually not really warned, but it's what we call a special weather statement. They issued a special weather statement, basically saying, okay, this is not a severe thunderstorm, but this is a strong storm. And obviously, hold on, I think my program's cutting out on me there. I saw my stream cut out there for a second as well. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on back here. We're going to go ahead and reset this program. It always loves to cut out on me during the live stream for some reason. Like, I usually fiddle with this a lot during the daytime, and obviously it doesn't really mess up. But of course, when I go live, that's when it decides it wants to do such. It's kind of stupid though, but obviously it can't always be the best here. But anyways, like I said, special weather statement, SWS, basically in effect here for 20 more minutes. We have ourselves basically until 8:30 local. McConnell's, portions of York, Clover, Fort Mill, Rock Hill, pretty much west of Pineville for the most part. Like I was saying, this is not considered a severe thunderstorm, but although it is significant enough where they do put a special weather statement on it, basically saying, okay, so we can't just let this go. We have to tell you guys what's going on with this in particular storm here. So, basically, like I said, Doppler radar indicated leading edge of an area of heavy rain, intense lightning. Once again, lightning's the big concern. I mean, lightning can be a killer itself. I mean, obviously, we got to stay indoors during these lightning storms, regardless of their severity or not. I mean, even a stray thunderstorm in an afternoon, evening here, or afternoon, evening, summertime evening or summertime afternoon. I mean, hey, lightning can be killer. It can actually, cause some deaths, which is very, very unfortunate. So, it'd be recommended just to stay inside. I mean, regardless of any storm, regardless of its severity or not. Anyway, so once again, that's what's looking at the moment. A lot of lightning is happening with this one. Rainfall rates up to 2 inches per hour. Once again, that flash flooding concern also being a possibility here over the next little bit. Torrential rainfall. They put a lot of tags on this thing. Combination of gusty winds and saturated soil conditions will cause cluster trees and power lines to fall. Seek shelter in an interior room. That is based off of the current, current text that they have here from the National Weather Service. So this is located in north-central South Carolina for the people who's wondering here. This is getting ready to track its way towards Charlotte. As you can see, Charlotte is in the path area. Now this storm is not really moving too fast for the most part. I mean, it's moving relatively slow. I mean, it's probably going to get around, Charlotte, I'd say between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. If this thing can actually continue to keep itself up to date, if it can continue to pose these possible concerns here, that's saying if it doesn't die out. At that point, yeah, this thing is tracking its way here towards Charlotte. As you can see, it literally on a direct course. So we'll keep an eye on it. And obviously, with this, like I said, obviously we got to be watching out for lightning. Like I said, it's kind of the big concern, flooding, and obviously other concerns when it comes to these thunderstorms. Shifting on more down here to the south, kind of towards that South Carolina and Georgia line here, we're actually dealing with a lot more sporadic, a lot more scattered type of thunderstorm activity. In regard to anything, nothing's really severe here. I'll tell you what, though, we're going to zoom in, take a look here at the innards of the storm here and see what's going on. I am noticing a little bit of a drop here towards Ellington. I don't think that's anything significant, but that might be a little couplet they're trying to form here. I don't know if that's going to do anything tornadic. Regardless, interest should keep an eye on this here. Like I said, right here next to New Ellington. I say it's probably at least 2 miles to the south. I'm going to grab an actual view of this and see just how far it is. Oh, that's not what I want to do. So New Ellington, the center of their region there. Yeah, so it's about 3 miles or so. Just to the, just pretty much to the southeast, 3-4 miles to the southeast. It's a little bit of an interest area. Like I was saying, it kind of looks like we have ourselves maybe a little couplet, a little indentation there. That you can see right there. Maybe a little bit of weak rotation that is ongoing with this system here. I mean, hey, like I said, across the region, there is a possibility for a few isolated tornadoes today. And honestly, like I said, that's saying that the tornado threat is not ruled out today, as a few tornadoes could indeed occur. And that's the reason why we are live today. Obviously, any tornado threat, we usually go live for you guys, just to give you guys updates and, to keep you guys safe and all kinds of stuff like that. So obviously, we're going to be here for you guys. But anyway, so like I was saying, just basically southeast here of New Ellington, about 4 miles, 3-4 miles here just to the southeast. That's kind of what we're looking at here. But anyways, let's go ahead and turn off. Let's go ahead and get rid of this dot here because I don't want to have to deal with that. But yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on this. Once again, this is in pretty much south central, almost southwestern. I guess that's what you would call southwestern South Carolina. It's kind of a weird shape of a state. It's kind of hard to tell. But pretty much on the southwestern side here, like I said, directly just southeast of New Ellington, about 3 or 4 miles that we were just looking at. That's going to be an interest we might need to watch out for here as of now. Now, in regard to correlation coefficient, I don't think there's anything crazy happening here. Yeah, there is no debris signature here. That's definitely some good news. So this is based off of radar alone, showing that there is not a tornado on the ground, but like I was saying, that's a little indentation there. It's a little area of rotation that might be happening here. Let's take a look here towards Edgefield. Okay, a little bit of, I don't really wouldn't call that much of anything. Not really too concerned about this. So that's what I'm saying, guys. We just got to keep an eye on some of these storms here, as they do have the possibility of throwing us a few threats. Maybe a few chances of a few tornadoes for today. We've already seen a few tornado-warned storms. I don't know if we've had any reported so far. As of now, no. But like I said, obviously this threat is going to continue into the overnight hours as we were. I was actually looking at the models earlier, and some of the models actually do suggest this thing happening, just kind of right at midnight, kind of a little bit post-midnight some of these storms continuing on there. But, kind of around 2 or 3 and past 2, that's when these storms are expected to just kind of really fade out for the most part. But anyway, so yeah, basically from here until midnight, I'd say there's a small tornado chance here for today. Definitely going to watch out for it. We're gonna keep an eye on some of these little guys because they can definitely creep up on it. And you'd be surprised just how quick a storm can go tornado warn. I mean, you'd be amazed at just how quick it can do so. So once again, what's going on with my program? It's cutting off again. But anyways, like I was saying, you would definitely be surprised. I mean, it could take literally a minute or so before something actually does kick off. So once again, to the folks out there, like I said, we're watching an area here just southeast of New Ellington. Possibility of some rotation. Oh, just kind of went away. Okay, that's good news. Now, like I said, obviously those are the kind of signatures you want to see, or that's what you want to kind of look out for. Obviously, over the last few scans here, you can kind of see that it has been pretty persistent here. Not just over that one scan, but you can kind of see here over the last few scans, there might have been a little bit of weak rotation there. It looks like for the most part, it looks like it's mostly gone, which might be some good news, although we are going to keep an eye on it. We're going to watch it closely. Let's go see any severe weather for Illinois on Sunday. So fun time. We're not going to look at that here right now. I can tell you what, though. We are seeing a cold front sweep its way towards the region here. So I can actually tell you straight up that there is not going to be a severe weather threat, because once that cold front passes you to stable air mass actually does build its way back into the region here, basically removing all the chance for thunderstorms and overall severe thunderstorms as well. But yeah. So you're looking pretty good here, I'd say. Let's go see. Are we good in Fort? Okay, we're not doing any zip codes here because that takes way too much time. Obviously, we got to be looking at the storms that's ongoing here. But I can tell you right now, in Kentucky, there is no severe weather threat that is happening for today. Without having to look that up, I can tell you you're looking pretty good here as of right now. But anyways, let's go and see here towards Rock Hill. Okay, maybe a little weak area, but I'm not going to watch that. I mean, it's really not too crazy though. Nothing of any concern, to be honest with you, as of right now. But like I said, we're watching the special weather statement. Pretty nasty looking storm here. That's getting ready to move into the way of Charlotte, North Carolina. Like I said, the storm is on the borderline between North and South Carolina here currently. This system is tracking its way up here to the northeast here for the most part. Like I was saying, it'll probably be around Charlotte between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. That's kind of the estimate here from radar view. As you can see, the little timestamps here kind of showing maybe around 9 o'clock or so. Whenever this thing could get there, maybe around 8:30, 9 o'clock. But we'll see what happens. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. We're going to watch this here closely. As of right now, this is not severe warm, but it is definitely something we need to watch out for, as it is producing a lot of excessive rainfall. Like I was saying, out of the storm here, we've already seen possibly maybe up to 2 inches of rain that's been falling with this storm. We do have some flash flood warnings in place across portions here of North Carolina, definitely bringing in that possibility of maybe a few instances of some flooding. And like I said, obviously we just don't want to deal with that. So basically, if you come across any flooded roadways, turn around and don't drown. That's what they say. Obviously, you don't want to risk it. Even a small amount of water. You'd be surprised just how much water it takes just to take away a vehicle. You'd be very, very, very surprised. So do not chance it. Even if it looks low, turn around and do not chance it. I'm telling you guys, seriously, flooding is a big, big concern here. Not just for today, but I'm saying in general. I mean, flooding is a leading killer. I mean, obviously, flooding is something that should not be taken lightly. Something that should be taken, definitely pretty heavily, because it is definitely consequencing, and just honestly. So like I said, we're dealing with ourselves a lot of thunderstorm activity currently at the moment across portions here of central North Carolina. Now, this in particular, as you can see right here, we are dealing ourselves with a bit of, when I say a bit, I mean a lot of heavy rainfall that is ongoing here. Like I was saying, obviously 2 to 4 inches of rain has already fallen mostly out of these storms here. It's an estimate, but obviously up to a few more inches could be possible. I mean, these storms are relatively moving here pretty, hold on, I was going to see exactly how fast they are moving here. Let's see. Okay, so actually, like I was saying, they actually told us that between 2 and 4 inches of rain has already fallen. Additional amounts of 1 to 3 is possible here. Yeah, definitely is possible here. So that's definitely kind of concerning on its own. Let me pull up a little track here and see just how fast these things are moving. It shows mostly an easterly motion. It shows it kind of moving pretty slow, though. And usually when you have those slow-moving storms, basically you got to think that there is a storm that's sitting over one area, not moving too fast. It's just going to allow for rain just to continue to fall over one direct location. Which, with that being said, obviously that's not really anything good, not really anything you want to have. So, once again, like I said, we are watching, this set of storms here across portions of central portions of North Carolina here. Like I said, flooding concerns is definitely a possibility here. Just right on the outskirts of Fayetteville, we have ourselves a flash flood warning here that is currently in effect. And like I was saying, once again, 2 to 4 inches of rain has fallen out of this storm here in particular, and obviously an additional amount, maybe up to a few more inches, could be possible in regard to this. Like I said, out of Fayetteville, the storm has mostly moved out of the Warren area. It's still more the people up here to the north, like Clayton, Smithfield, that they got to worry about this a lot more because they are still continuing to see that, that I almost said snowfall. It's definitely not that time of the year yet, but continue to see a lot of that rainfall that is ongoing. So that's definitely something that we just are going to continue to watch here. So once again, some pretty considerable flash flooding is occurring here. Like I said, obviously across portions here of South Carolina too, we're seeing a lot of that clustered, a lot of that scattered type of more of that cluster type of thunderstorm action that's currently going on here at the moment. Definitely allowing for some lightning, maybe even some, maybe some heavy rainfall. Definitely also being a possibility there. But anyways, let's go ahead and see here. Frank says, thanks, bro. You're very, very welcome. Got you covered. Let's see here. That's the second season of spring. I don't know what you're talking about there. I mean, I do know that during the fall times, typically the severe weather starts to increase again because you're introducing cold air into a warm environment across the United States. So obviously summertime is mostly over at this point. We're moving into fall here this month, actually. And obviously with that being said, we have a lot of warm air across the states. Now, what happens is we're starting to get a lot of cold air tracking down here from the south. A good example of what's going on here with this cold front situation today, just to show you what I'm talking about, look just above my head there. I mean, you see that big old Boeing shape? That is our cold front, really driving some cold air across portions of the central and northern country. And so like I said, obviously that cold air overtaking the warm air does create the instability in the atmosphere to allow for thunderstorms to fire off, which, obviously that's what they call second spring, is because we're basically seeing those conditions once again return. So that's something we got to keep our eyes out here for, is during the fall time we can have ourselves an occasional few severe weather events. Some could be pretty nasty, but like I said, today's nothing really extreme, although it is something I do want to cover, because like I said, regardless of its threat, if it has a tornado tag on it or any type of tornado possibility today, that is a life-threatening concern, and obviously we are going to be of it, regardless of what severe weather threat it is, because no matter what level you're in, it's still classified as severe, and that's the way I look at it. It still is a severe weather threat, so it is still something we got to watch out here for. And like I said, we have had some on and off tornado warnings here for today across portions of North and South Carolina. And like I said, I do expect that to actually continue here really over the next several hours here, definitely being a possibility here. So, but that is what we are talking about here for the most part. That is indeed what we are seeing here. Like I was telling you guys, I mean, we are seeing ourselves a pretty decent, like I said, we are seeing ourselves a pretty decent cold front. That's the reason why this thunderstorm threat completely just shuts off here across the central U.S. I mean, like I said, obviously we are dealing ourselves a lot of cold air backing its way down here from the country. And I actually want to go ahead and show you guys something here really quickly. And I want to go ahead and show you guys exactly what is currently happening here. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to the satellite view currently across portions of the Atlantic and portions of the states. So watch this. So here's what's going on. We got this big old burst that's flying its way down here into the northern country. That is leading our cold front across the way here. Obviously, with that being said, a lot of cold air from the up north. The higher you go up north, the more colder it does get typically. And obviously, with that being said, we got this big old blast of cooler air diving its way down into the states. And like I was saying, a lot of places, honestly, we're seeing the possibility of those temperatures actually dropping there into the 40s, and some even in the 30s across those upper elevations there. Which is pretty crazy. That's just something I do want to go ahead and mention for you. Now, here's the thing. We're going to go ahead and switch on back here. We do have ourselves another severe weather threat. I forgot to mention here as of right now. Across portions here of southern Nevada into portions here of California, we are seeing ourselves a marginal risk here for severe storms here being a possibility. We do have a few special weather statements. Once again, some flash flooding being a concern. Over the last day or so, we've been seeing a lot of rainfall across portions of the southwest. This is a result of post-Hurricane K. Obviously delivering a lot of moisture up into the southwest here, and they have seen a lot of flooding, especially more down to the south, near like San Diego, just mostly east of San Diego for the most part. But anyways, regardless, these areas have been dealing with it for quite a bit. And obviously, this is not helping the situation at all by any more storms here. But there is a handful of special weather statements here, kind of getting near that severe status, about 8 miles an hour off from being considered severe gusts or severe damaging winds here across portions of pretty much, south central Nevada for the most part here. Another few special weather statement storms, not as particularly strong, but they're across portions here of, I'd say, pretty much south central California for the most part. So that also the risk for a few strong to severe storms does continue across the southwest as well. But like I was saying, the main concern for today, you guys, is obviously this. Obviously this marginal risk here we have in effect. And like I was saying, the main concern for today is actually the possibility of a few damaging wind gusts. 5% chance we could see some isolated damaging wind gusts. Basically, that 5% chance is showing a more of an isolated concern. Not necessarily widespread. Like I said, it's not expected to be a widespread severe weather event. It's supposed to be an isolated, meaning here and there. Every once in a while, you'll get yourself a severe storm here popping up. And like I was saying, our wind threat's the main concern, but like I said, with that being said, a tornado concern is also our secondary concern. And that's, like I said, that's divided into two different areas. Our first area of possible tornado activity for today, a possibility of an isolated tornado or two could happen. It does include, major areas here towards Orlando, portions of Gainesville, Daytona Beach, Palm Bay, basically Cocoa Beach as well. So that is, we are talking about, once again, Gainesville, Lake City as well included. An isolated tornado or two could happen across portions of those regions of Florida, diving all the way down as far down south here, basically just east of Port Charlotte for the most part. Relatively steep little line there. But anyways, and obviously our main concern here with the possibility of a few isolated tornadoes or, a few isolated severe storms that could produce a tornado or two does include, like I said, the Carolinas here. Portions in South Carolina, Columbia, Myrtle Beach included, Charleston, basically just north here of Hilton Head Island for the most part. Another risk across portions of Holden Beach, I believe that's the name of it, Wilmington, Jacksonville, Fayetteville as well. That is also another possibility of a few isolated severe storms with a tornado or two being a possibility. Definitely cannot be ruled out. And like I said, no matter whenever we do have ourselves a tornado threat here, we do typically try to be live here at least to cover a little bit of the event. Now, this is not going to be no long live stream like we have pulled, just like that 13-hour live stream we pulled, just a day before yesterday on Hurricane Earl. Speaking of Earl, look how much farther it is. That's Bermuda up there. This storm's all the way up here now. It's definitely really, really crazy. So yeah, Earl has been, just a quick little discussion on Earl really quickly, moving back here to the satellite view. Yeah, Earl has been kind of not really doing so well lately. This right here, there's Earl right there, but there's a lot of dry air and a lot of wind shear that's starting to really combat into the system. It's not like it's supposed to hit anything anyways anymore at this time, but you can see a lot of upper level, obviously a lot of upper level wind shear is happening and basically shearing out the storm, and a lot of dry air is taking its place, which is really, rapidly weakening out Earl here at the moment. But anyways, like I said, just a quick little update on that. Just to let you guys know, what's going on in regard to that situation. Since we just covered it the other day, I just want to give you guys a little update on that here really quickly. But anyways, moving on back here to the overall view here. We're going to switch on back here to the storms in North Carolina. Like I said, we have a pretty decent flooding situation that's happening here towards the Raleigh area in North Carolina. We do have a considerable flooding possibility across portions of Smithfield, portions of Clayton. Let's go and see here west of Kendley. This is west of Princeton, east here mostly of Holly Springs. Once again, this is right here towards the Raleigh area. Now, here's some pretty interesting news. A lot of lightning is being reported out of this storm here, which obviously lightning is a big concern as well. Lightning can indeed, unfortunately have some fatalities, obviously with lightning possibilities. But anyways, We also do have ourselves this flooding concern like I was talking about. That's kind of the main concern of this. Look at this. 1 and 2 inches of rain has fallen with an additional amount of 1 to 3 inches being possible. So, obviously several inches of rain just from this one in particular cell alone is definitely possible. This storm is relatively moving quite slow for the most part. Let's go and see. Jolie says, hey, bro, I hope you're well. You too. Talking about Sparta. So, like I said, we're not doing personal forecasts here as of right now. And, obviously, like I said, we're going to be here for you guys, just pretty much giving you guys the severe weather coverage here for today. We're not doing anything personalized forecast-wise. We might do that tomorrow. We might do an everyone live stream tomorrow for personal forecasts. So, hold on until tomorrow, and since there's no severe weather expected, and we'll definitely get you guys covered there. But anyways, but like I said, we also do have this special weather statement. Like I said, not a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's close. It's getting there. Definitely is a strong storm, considered a strong storm across portions here of McConnells, Rock Hill, York, Clover, Fort Mill. Once again, this is on the borderline between North and South Carolina. So obviously that is where this storm is currently located right now. We have about a minute to go. Before this special weather statement does indeed get canceled here. This does include portions of Interstate 77. But in regard to this in particular system, the reason that this thing actually did get this special weather statement tag is because, look at this. We're seeing ourselves heavy rainfall with intense lightning. So basically, lightning, obviously, like I said, is a leading killer. Heavy rainfall as well is not good here. And they were talking about the possibility of torrential rainfall may flood areas with poor drainage such as ditches and underpasses. Obviously, that's what that's saying basically. Frequent lightning is occurring with storms. If outdoors, try to get indoors into a hard-topped vehicle. I never heard them actually specifically say that before. That's kind of interesting. But basically, just get indoors. Don't be outside during lightning. Regardless of its severity or not. Even a normal afternoon average thunderstorm can indeed what's going on? Can indeed pose the possibility of a few strikes that could not be very, very good. It could definitely ruin your day. But anyways, so that's what's going on there. About to be canceled here, but it's still pretty strong. Mostly to the east here as well, towards Pageland, portions of Jefferson. This is once again in north central South Carolina. Pretty interesting storm here. We're getting some reports of a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect across portions of Nevada. Let's go and take a look at this here really quickly. We were watching those special weather statements over there, and I guess one of them decided to kick up into severe action. So let's go and turn off the special weather statements to not get confused. This is our active severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here. It does appear that it might just be over mostly rural areas here for the most part. Let's actually do a little update on this here. Let me see. So basically he's talking about here, okay, obviously the main concern here is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, maybe some quarter-size hail, maybe some small hail, maybe some, maybe some damaging wind gusts. Also, torrential rainfall, they're putting that possibility as well. But let me see here. For the most part, okay, this location impacted does include Duckwater, apparently. That's the only location I can find that's inside of this polygon. And that's according to the latest outlook. So that just popped up here. 44 minutes to go until this does get canceled. Basically until 9:15 Eastern. Once again, this is basically here in... I'm kind of debating if that's the mountain time or if that's the Pacific time, but regardless, this would be basically around 7 mountain time or 7:15 mountain time or 6:15 Pacific when this does get canceled. Locally, it's right between those two. I don't know if that's mountain or Pacific. I want to say it's probably mountain time, so but obviously that's a new severe storm with the possibility of maybe a few damaging wind gusts and obviously maybe a few few events in regard to hail. Also being a possibility here. So, actually, let's go and move on back here for a second, because like I was saying, we have a lot of other flooding that's happening here. Tons and tons of flooding ongoing here. Tons and tons of these warnings in place all throughout portions here of Arizona, Nevada, and California. We did see the remain of post-Hurricane K that did actually drive its way a lot of moisture. The storm system driving its way away from the areas of land, but a lot of its moisture got sheared off here to the northeast, obviously delivering some unwanted, I wouldn't say really unwanted, but it definitely did bring some rainfall, which too much rainfall indeed. Obviously creating a lot of flooding concerns. They can never get it right. Either it's too much water or it's not enough water. It's always a problem down there across the Southwest. And obviously in this case, we're on that phase where just a lot of water, too much water here. Obviously the ground is so dried up at these places here. Even a little bit of water creates major impacts in regard to flooding. So obviously, that's why there's so many of these things. I mean, obviously these little thunderstorms here that we're seeing pop off is not actually helping anything. I mean, maybe at first with a few little bit of rain, but once you start to push into like the few inch range, that's kind of whenever these start to get a little bit overkill. So that's definitely not good at all. Let's go ahead and see here. Brittany says, hello, hope everyone's doing good. You too, Brittany. Thank you for joining us here for today. First of all, I go ahead and see that Jenny's here as well. What's up? Hope you're doing all right. Glad to have you here. Hayden Gaming says, will Beach Island get bad storms? It depends on where that is at. What state is Beach Island in? I'm not really aware of the location there too much. But like I said, regardless today, the main concern, obviously, or the concern area is across the southeast for the most part. Portions of eastern Florida, eastern Georgia, eastern North and South Carolina for the most part. With that exceptional possibility of a few other severe storms, another severe weather threat across portions here of California into southern Nevada. So that's kind of where the severe weather threat. Other than that, if you're anywhere else, that's kind of not really expected to see anything severe. Let's see here. Brad says, peace out all. All right, we'll see you later, Brad. Thank you for joining us here for today. Let's go and see. We are getting some storms here in southern Utah. Says Megan. Well, obviously stay safe out there. I know that you guys have been, definitely been dealing with the heat as well. You guys have been getting some pretty extreme weather, that's for sure. Absolutely. And obviously, like I said, I hope things do die down here, over the next little bit. That's definitely what is needed. I mean, like I said, once again, portions in the Southwest, they cannot get... they can never get it right, basically. Here comes a little alert message with my programming again here. But anyways, so guys, we're moving on over here to portions of central North Carolina. Like I said, directly just south here of Raleigh for the most part. We are watching a flash flood warning that is currently in effect across portions of Clayton, Smithfield, portions here towards Coates. Let's go see Zebulon, Zebulon. Zebulon, I think it's Zebulon. Depends on how you pronounce it. I'm not exactly perfect with pronunciations here, but anyways, regardless, 71 minutes. We have a little bit to go before this does get canceled here. We are seeing a pretty interesting storm drive its way through the region here for the most part. Obviously delivering tons and tons of rainfall over a short amount of time across these locations, leading to the flooding concern. Obviously, those low-lying areas, creeks, streams, underpasses, ditches, whatever has the possibility of seeing ourselves, obviously our decent amount here of rainfall, which can lead to flooding. So once again, so in regard to this in particular storm here, look at this. Between 2 and 4 inches of rain has already fallen, with additional amounts up to 1 to 3 inches is possible across the warned areas. And like I was saying, once again, Benson, Fort Oaks, Smithfield, Clayton, portions of Gardner actually included as well. Let's see Zebulon, however you basically however you want to pronounce that area, that is where we are seeing that flooding concern. I mean, tons and tons of rainfall is happening. Like I said, obviously with this system, these storms are not really moving extremely fast. I mean, they're kind of moving relatively slow for the most part. So once again, as mentioned before, if you have a storm that's kind of sitting over one specific area at a time, if it's just sitting over across one specific area, then obviously, that just allows for rain just to continually fall, and obviously leading to more and more accumulation. So, due to this storm, this storm's relatively slow motion, obviously a few inches of rainfall could indeed be a possibility out of this in particular storm here. So, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and switch on back here to our velocity radar here. I want to go ahead and take a look and see what's going on here. It looks like a little bit of turbulence is going on inside this storm here, although I wouldn't call this really any rotation. I would call, maybe a little. I'd call this more turbulent air than anything. We're going to keep an eye on it. Like I said, there is a possible tornado threat here for today. It's nothing too extreme. It's just an isolated tornado threat where a few tornadoes cannot be ruled out here for today. More of that isolated severe storm kind of a concern for today. Like I said, today is a pretty low threat for severe weather, but it's still a severe weather threat, and there is the possibility of a few tornadoes being involved. And like I said, regardless, with that being said, we are always going to try to be here for you guys to give you all coverage, regardless of what level it is, because we want you guys to be up to date. We want you guys to be prepared. I mean, hey, there's some people probably in the region here that, it's across the way that did not know they actually had themselves a possibility of a few tornadoes, or a tornado threat, I should say, which that's kind of what we're looking at there. Let's go and see. Can I show the tornado threat here for Alkin County in South Carolina? So here's the thing. You should know based off where your county is specifically here. You can actually look here. Like I said, the main concern in regard to the tornado possibility here. Let's go and see here. First of all, let's go see Scott Clark with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much there, man. Greatly appreciated. Big shout out goes to Scott as well as Proxy. Thank you so much. But like I said, you should know based off of where you are here in the state of South Carolina, and like I was saying, for the most part, at least I'd say probably about 3/5 of the state is included in this possible tornado threat here for today. So obviously that is what we are watching out for. So keep an eye on it. It's definitely is a possibility here. Once again, big thanks goes to you, Scott. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. It definitely means a lot. Helps out the channel too. Anyway, so we're gonna move over here to another. Moving over here towards that one severe thunderstorm warning. We do have an effect across portions here of Nevada. Now, according to an upper-level scan, it might look like a little bit of rotation, although I don't think that's much of anything, though, because it's scanning very high up here. Obviously, what's happening at the surface can be a completely different story. And once again, a tornado threat's not even a concern across those areas. But anyways, this storm is considered severe. Obviously, we are expecting the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, maybe even some hail up to the quarter size. I mean, hey, obviously that is considered severe. That is within the severe realms here, which is in effect here. Now, the storm is moving pretty slow here, moving north at a whopping, very fast-moving, very speedy, 10 miles per hour. And once again, that's pretty much a exaggeration there. This storm's moving pretty slow. Once again, hazards, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail being a possibility here. And look at this, large hail and damaging winds, continuous cloud-to-ground lightning, also another concern in regard to lightning. Is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. Absolutely. And look at this. Torrential rainfall is also occurring with the storm. May lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. So basically, with that being said here, like I was saying, yeah, since the storm's motion's moving quite slowly, like I was saying, obviously, if a storm sits over a specific area for a long time, it basically just rapidly accumulates. And obviously with these places being absolutely as dry as they have been, this is not good. Obviously, like I said, for the most part, they are battling the too much water or the not too much water. So they've been recently battling with a lot of dry air, a lot of dry conditions, and whenever you introduce a little bit of rain or a lot of bit of rain in a short period of time, that can obviously cause some flooding concerns as well. Also, the motion of the storm is not helping. I mean, look at this. All these little polygons, all these green polygons you see out here, these are all flash flood warnings. And according to the counter up there, we have 17 of them across the nation as of right now, which that is pretty crazy, actually. That is definitely really crazy here. So, we're going to go ahead and move on back here to North Carolina. Like I said, we are watching a pretty nasty storm here just southeast of Raleigh for the most part, delivering a lot of concerns here. And delivering a lot of possibilities from lightning concerns. Obviously, like I said, lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Lots of lightning possibilities with these storms here. Also, in regard to things, the flash flooding, big concern with this in particular storm here. Clayton, Smithfield, Fort Oaks, Benson, Coates here as well. Obviously, these areas here are at risk for the possibility of maybe some flash flooding here. We have 65 minutes to go, basically here until 9:45 Eastern time, until this warning does get expired here for the most part. So that is what's going on. Interstate 95, the beautiful, once again, exaggerated, the beautiful Interstate 95 here is also included with this. Obviously, expect maybe a little bit of travel disruptions, although rush hour is over at this point. Obviously, like I said, that is what we're looking at. So, in regard to things, once again, flash flooding is a concern here. Look at this. Here's the actual text with this in particular storm here. So, between 2 and 4 inches of rain has fallen. Additional amounts up to 1 to 3 inches is possible. Possible? I'm making up new words here. I don't know what's going on. I can't speak straight here tonight anyways. I usually never can. But for some reason, so like I said, obviously between 2 and 4 inches of rain has already fallen. That's an estimate here. With an additional 1 to 3. So they're saying basically at worst here, maybe 3 to 7 inches at complete worst case scenario is a possibility. Obviously 3 inches I'd say is kind of that more expected realm, but obviously up to 7 inches of rainfall, which obviously, the runoff and stuff like that can create obviously a lot of deeper floods. And obviously places here like in low-lying areas, that's a big concern for those areas. So once again, this is in pretty much in central portions of North Carolina. Once again, we'll be in effect until 9:45 here, guys. We have a little bit to go here. So let's go and see what kind of weather will Oklahoma get. So in regard to Oklahoma, you guys are about to deal with a cold front driving its way through the region here. It's going to be driving down those cold, those temperatures here pretty cold during the nighttime hours for the most part. Nothing severe is on the table in regard to anything severe across Oklahoma. Nothing too crazy. Squid says, this guy was born to be a meteorologist. Well, thank you so much there, Squid. Definitely means a lot to me. Definitely has been my passion for many, many years. I'm definitely glad that I am taking the field. Let's go and see. Is St. George, Utah going to get rain? I'd say it's definitely a possibility. A lot of those places are getting some moisture from, post-tropical cyclone K. And in that case, this venting process of this system, since it's moving to the west here. Now these systems do typically rotate counterclockwise, but their venting rotates clockwise in the northern hemisphere, delivering a lot of moisture possibilities across portions here of the southwest, which is leading to that possibility of some flooding concerns as well. It's possible. I would definitely say it's a possibility. Maybe a little bit of moisture could linger in conditionally. Let's go ahead and see here. But that is what we are talking about here. Let's go and see here. Rebecca says, thank you for the response. You're very, very welcome. Like I said, we're here for you guys. I mean, typically we always got you guys covered here. Sometimes we can't really look at, I want you guys to understand that sometimes we cannot specifically look at, a specific area if we have more important things going on. I wouldn't say that. That kind of sounds harsh. But more of immediate things going on, I should say. Not really important, but more of immediate action things going on here. For example, this flash flooding that's happening right now. I mean, this is a big concern for places of Smithfield. I mean, they haven't even really got through much rain yet. And this big old wall of this storm is getting ready to crash over Smithfield here, which that is going to be the possibility of, once again, maybe even some gusty winds. Obviously, if you see a sharp gradient line like that, you could probably expect some gusty winds, but in this case, not really damaging winds, as it's not really considered a severe storm as of now. But also, lots of lightning. The storm's movement's quite slowly, obviously allowing for lots and lots of rain to fall over a short, obviously, like I said, short period of time. So areas of Smithfield, obviously Four Oaks currently getting the worst of it, I'd say right about now. Benson kind of pulling out of it for the most part, but flooding will still continue even after the storm here. Clayton as well, currently dealing with that. Now Pine Level, Micro, these areas here far out in the in the storm's track should continue watching this storm here. It's relatively slow moving. If this storm can continue its strength, if it can continue to hold on to itself by the time it reaches over, maybe this threat can extend eastward. We'll definitely just see how this does kick off here. Anyways, regardless, pretty nasty storm for what it looks like here for the most part. There is not a special weather statement on it, although they have just recently issued another special weather statement here for portions of, central South North Carolina, right there near the borderline between North and South Carolina for the most part. But anyway, so in regard to things, this is what's happening. So towards Wadesboro, Polkton, I was going to see Ansonville included. We have 60 minutes, so basically an hour to go. So at this point, about until 9:45 local time here on the Eastern time zone. So in regard to things, 40 mile per hour wind gust is a possibility, not considered severe. That has to be 58 or higher to be considered a severe wind gust, which is getting there. It's definitely strong. It's definitely a strong storm. So watch out, Ansonville. Possibility. We could actually see ourselves. Sorry. We could actually see ourselves have a, decent amount of flooding being possible, or decent amount of, I should say, winds being possible. Anyways, so that's what's going on there in regard to things. Like I said, obviously we got to keep an eye here on the velocity too. We got to keep an eye out here inside the storm as well, because like I said, even though it's not a big concern, even though it's not a huge concern, there is the possibility of an isolated tornado or two. In the beginning of the live stream here just a little bit ago, we actually just seen ourselves a little bit of rotation that was happening. But obviously, obviously things have, died down in that rotation. But anyways, we still just got to keep an eye on it for sure. Let's go ahead and see here. Got ourselves some more comments, or more comments coming through on here. Let's see here. Self-Care says, dude's got a passion. Well, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it for all the very, very, grateful messages. Thank you guys so much for that. It definitely means a lot to me. Let me see here. Illinois, all green tomorrow. The finger of God touches Chicago burbs. My basement flood. So, now here's an example of what's happening here. Like I said, we're not going to specifically really dive into this. We are seeing a cold front drive its way through the region. Okay, so obviously that is delivering some rain across the way. It's possible you could see some rain. A few thunderstorms could obviously not be ruled out. We are going to see, so right now we are seeing this cold front batter through the region. Now we are going to get a surface low, basically an area of low pressure that's going to develop and really swing that cold air more to the east here for the most part. So we are going to see some more of those cooler temperatures across portions of the Ohio Valley, especially during the morning times for the most part. Now this is going to bring the possibility of maybe a little bit of thunder action across portions here of the Ohio Valley for tomorrow. It's a possibility, so obviously keep your eyes on it. But as of now, nothing severe is expected out of it. Okay, so nothing severe is expected out of it. Mega says, Andrew, take a sip of water. Don't forget to hydrate. Absolutely. I don't have a water bottle with me right now, though. Let's see here. But let's see. These storms going to hit Warsaw, Indiana. Right now, nothing severe for Indiana. Just letting you guys know right off the bat as of right now. But like I said, tomorrow, possibility of a few storms across the regions. You know, keep your eyes peeled for it. But as of right now, nothing really severe is expected here. A bit of turbulent action. Obviously, like I said, a bit of turbulent action is happening here for the most part. Nothing rotational wise here, just west of West Smithfield and Smithfield here for the most part. So obviously a little bit of turbulent action here towards Four Oaks. Let's go and see here. Scott Clark with another $5 super chat for spamming chat. Sorry. No, Scott, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, guys, huge shout out today goes to Scott Clark as well as Proxy. You guys have been absolutely legends. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Definitely a big thumbs up goes to me from you to you guys. Thank you so much. Once again, everyone, thank Scott Clark as well as Proxy for helping out the channel. Definitely really appreciate it. Means a lot. Let's go ahead and see here. But anyways, that is what we are talking about here. Let's go ahead and see. I might get another reptile sometime, says Haley. Okay, that's a little bit off topic, but I hope you do, I guess. Anyways, let's see. Greg says, just got to college, and I'm currently watching you some of your other meteorology majors, and we like your content. Thanks for what... I think it means thanks for what you do. Well, Greg, you're very welcome. You know, obviously, thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you're having a wonderful night. And if you have any more questions, I mean, that goes to all of you guys. You know, let us know. We got you guys covered here. Obviously, that's the reason we're live today, so make sure you guys are staying up to date, even though it's not some crazy outbreak, even though it's not some crazy old severe weather event happening. It's a possibility. I mean, there is a severe threat for today. There is a possibility of a few tornadoes being possible, and obviously, that's that. Let's go and see here. Gene with a $3 super chat. Thank you so much. Now goes to Gene. Everyone give Gene a thank you. Absolutely greatly appreciated. Between Gene as well, Scott once again, and Proxy. Guys, thank you so much. Just now coming up here. Once again, big shout out goes to you, Gene. Thank you so much for that. Definitely does mean a lot to me. But anyways, let's go ahead and see here. Proxy said, whatever we can do to support the channel, Andrew, you provide a service that keeps us both educated and safe. Well, obviously, that's the reason we're here, is just to keep you guys safe. That's obviously why we're here. I mean, personally, I love tracking these storms. Don't get me wrong. I love doing it. I love hanging out with you guys as well. But I also love, obviously, keeping you guys safe. That's obviously our concern here. So like I said, when it comes to donations, don't feel like you have to, because that's obviously not really important. It does help with the channel. Yes, it does. But obviously, the main concern is to keep you guys safe. And that's the reason why we are live today, is to help keep you guys safe here. So obviously, that we're trying as hard as we can to make sure that you guys are staying up to date. And that's the reason why we are here for you guys. Anyways, so let's go and do a little update here on this one severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here. We actually got an update on this one in particular cell. We're looking here towards central Nevada here on the western United States here for the most part. If you guys were here just a minute ago, or a little bit ago, we did actually see ourselves a severe thunderstorm warning that was put in place across portions here of central Nevada. Now, here's the thing. I can only find one location that's impacted with this, as it looks like it's mostly over rural areas here for the most part, over non-populated grounds. And like I was saying, it looks like Duckwater was there right inside of this severe warning. So obviously Duckwater here in Nevada, keep an eye on this storm here. Obviously recommended to be inside during this here. But in regard to things, the main concerns out of this in particular storm here is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and maybe the possibility of some penny-sized hail. So that's a possibility in regard to this in particular storm here. So let's keep our eyes out for it, okay? We're definitely going to watch this closely. And like I said, not far to the southwest, we actually do have ourselves a severe weather threat that's currently happening here. Actually, you know, that's one storm is outside of the main risk area, but it's a possibility we could see ourselves maybe a few severe storms. Although there is some good news with this. Tornadoes is actually not a concern across these regions, but that is a different story once we move our way here to the east. Like I said, divided into two different areas. The first risk area here across portions of Florida. I mean, we're talking some pretty popular areas. And like I said, said, do not freak out because this is a very low chance of this specifically happening for a specific area here. So, but like I said, this does include portions of Orlando, portions of Cocoa Beach, obviously Daytona Beach as well, Lake City, Gainesville, basically just south of Jacksonville. That's where we have an isolated tornado threat. Basically, a tornado or two basically could not be ruled out. Okay, so obviously this is not a tornado likely concern. This is a tornado pretty much unlikely concern, but it's not enough to be ruled out, basically. That's the way to look at it. But here's the thing. The more we move up here into I almost said the Dakotas, the Carolinas, obviously we have ourselves a bigger chance, covering more of a ground, covering more of a ground. So obviously South Carolina, portions of North Carolina, including the areas here towards Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Columbia, Charleston, moving on into like Holden Beach here in North Carolina, Wilmington, Fayetteville. These areas here do have the possibility of maybe a tornado or two as well. Like I said, it's not a big concern. It's not a likely thing to happen, but it's a possibility, okay? So, and like I said, no matter what usually happens, if there's any form of tornado possibility, we try to be live here for today, and that just so happened to happen here today. And we're definitely glad to be here for you guys today. Now, honestly, it'll be a good thing. If anything does not really pop off here, like I said, we have seen a few popped-up tornado warnings here today. A few on and off. And obviously, like I said, that's going to be possible for the next several hours. I'd say definitely a possibility. So obviously, we're going to try to be here for a little bit to give you guys some coverage. We've already been live here for almost an hour. Just to get the word out there. Honestly, just to get the word out there is absolutely what we're here for and what we're going to give you. Like I said, we're not trying to spread any fear. We're not trying to do that. We are trying to help you guys by letting you know what the possibilities are. And obviously, you guys having a notice ahead of advance is a much better thing for you guys. Obviously, the more you guys can be warned in advance, the much better you guys could actually possibly make it through. But like I said, obviously in these cases, pretty low day today. Nothing too extreme. Like I said, this is not an extreme tornado outbreak or anything like that. No, it's not supposed to be anything like that. Like I said, it's just an isolated tornado or two. Cannot be ruled out once again here. Anyways, let's go and see here. Let's see here. I will tell her that I have some sweet friends who are praying up here. Are you talking about your mom there, Megan? Well, obviously, I hope your mom's doing better, and keep me up to date on that, okay? Hopefully she gets better soon. Let's go ahead and see here. Dang, my neighbor in Nevada is getting it. Absolutely, kind of looks like it. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for joining us here for today. And once again, if you guys got any questions, let us know. We are going to be here for you for a little bit longer. I'm not exactly sure how long we're going to be live tonight, but I do plan on persisting this a little bit longer here for today. Just to give you guys an idea, obviously for the new people joining us, welcome, guys. Hope you're doing good. And if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it'd be greatly appreciated. It really does help out the channel. Hey, we're on the road to 6,000. We're getting there closely. I bet we could do that by the end of this month here. So that's the goal. Possibly get to 6,000 by the end of the month. That's about 150 away. So let's see if we can do it. Honestly, I bet we can. You guys are absolutely supportive, and you guys absolutely rock. Thank you all so much here. But anyways, let's go ahead and see here. Megan says, thank you very much, Andrew. You are the very best. No, you, Megan. Well, obviously, like I said, hopefully everything goes well with that. And make sure to keep me updated, okay? Definitely would like to hear about it. Anyways, let's see what's going on here towards Smithfield. That looks like possible rotation. Although, let's see, what radar are we at? Yeah, we're kind of at a far radar view. So let's pull up a closer scan. Okay, yeah, so I was watching, okay, in regard to the radar views, there has been a little bit of turbulence happening towards Smithfield for the most part. Now, anything rotating, at least on the lower level scan here from this radar, at least on the lower level scan, there is no rotation that's happening here. But let's go ahead and bring this up. We're going to tilt the radar up a little bit. Now, it does appear, okay, the higher we go up, yeah, honestly, not really showing too much of anything. Maybe, regardless, lots of turbulent action, lots of wind flow. Obviously, the red kind of showing those winds move away from the radar. In this case, the radar is this big old donut you see up here. So in this case, this is what we call velocity scan. Red is basically showing the winds move away from the radar, and the green is showing the move towards the radar. So you can kind of imagine, there is a little bit of, obviously in this case, there's a little bit of convergence, I should say, going on right here towards Smithfield. A little bit of a battle of two angles of wind. So basically, like I said, the red moving away from the radar, in this case, possibly moving down to the southeast, and obviously, opposite happening on the green side. It's really kind of similar to how they do blue shift, red shift in the solar system, obviously with the, by measuring things. So obviously, it's kind of similar. It's based off of the Doppler, Doppler effect for the most part, in regard to everything. Let's go ahead and see your Red Rose Home says hello. What's up? Hope you're doing all right. Glad to have you here. glad to have you. Let's see, Galaxy's here as well. Thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and see here. Galaxy says, Andrew, look at St. Louis. Some supercells have exploded in the past hour. So, now I want to go ahead and say straight off the bat, a supercell is considered a rotating thunderstorm. So let me see if there's any rotation. If there's no rotation, that's not really considered a supercell. But we will see. You know, obviously it's worth looking at. Okay, I wouldn't call these supercells because they're not severe. Let's see. Let me actually check and look here towards. We'll grab Springfield, Missouri's radar here really quickly. And we'll check and see what's going on out there. Obviously, we can try to get some velocity scans. Let's see. Okay, so there's little pockets of, once again, turbulent action. I don't really see any major rotation happening, though. Which, obviously, like I said, the tornado threat does not exist across these areas. I mean, honestly, to me, it just kind of looks like some normal... like I said, to me, it just kind of looks like some normal thunderstorm action that's kicking off here. Like I said, once again, these are not severe warned at all. They don't even have special weather statements on them, which, you know, obviously... but anyways, yeah, they are starting to kick off here. I mean, we'll watch them. I mean, if anything does happen, you know, we'll definitely keep you guys informed. That, you know, for the most part, like I was talking about, for the most part... across portions of Missouri, there is no severe weather threat for today. Although we are seeing a cold front push through, it's a possibility a few thunderstorms could arise out of it. But for the most part, like I was saying though, yeah, you know, for the most part, you know, severe storms is not really expected. Anyways, here's the thing. It kind of looks like this cell might be strengthening. Right here between portions of North and South Carolina. Look at this, east of Marshville for portions of Wadesboro, Polkton, Ansonville. Yeah, that's a special weather statement for 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so it's not really considered severe, but it's getting there. It's definitely on an increasing trend here. Let me see here. Proxy says, do I have an idea of how Bermuda fared with Earl? I'm going to say that, okay, I don't know for exact, but I want to say that Bermuda did pretty well. Because obviously, when we ended the live stream at their worst conditions, or a little bit past their worst conditions, the power was still on, which was a good signature. I haven't had any reports come through in regard to damage, so I feel like they actually drawn out for it. Once again, I mean, honestly, places in Bermuda are... tropical storm force winds is nothing new for these areas. You know, Bermuda deals with tropical systems, tropical cyclones all year long, or not all year long, but every year usually, every once in a while. Like last year, I mean, Bermuda got suffered by a hurricane, actually. I forgot the name of the storm here, but yeah, last year, Bermuda got slammed by a hurricane. A lot worse conditions than it was here, so I feel like they played out pretty well with it. Like I said, we only seen ourselves about 40, 50-mile-per-hour winds sustained. Obviously, a few little higher gusts, but other than that, I mean, honestly, they just got the tropical storm force. It could have been a lot worse. It really could have been a lot worse, which is definitely good. So let's go ahead and see here. But that is what we are talking about here. Have I heard about the Beaufort and the Gulf Stream? I have. I have heard about the Gulf Stream, and I heard about both those. Beaufort, Gyre, I forgot how you pronounce that exactly. But the Gulf Stream actually goes off of, it rolls against the side, and it basically pulls out here. It kind of just ramps off of North Carolina for the most part. The Gulf Stream does. And obviously, that can seriously impact the tropics here if it warms up the water. You know, obviously the Gulf Stream can bring up some warmer water from the south. But another story for another day. But yeah, I do know what that is. But anyways, so let's do a little update here, guys, on the storm near Raleigh. Let's see. So Clayton, Smithfield. Let's see. Zebulon. Portions here towards north of Dunn. Like I said, this is a pretty interesting storm here for the most part. We're seeing the possibility of, like I said, already 1 to 2 inches of rain has fallen with an additional amount of 1 to 3 inches being possible. So that's kind of what we're talking about. Obviously, the possibility of that, and that is what we are looking at. So obviously, this is a slow-moving storm. Obviously, the slower the storm is, the more rain falls over a specific location because it's not moving anywhere. So in these places, like I said, Smithfield definitely is, like I said, that's definitely kind of a thing we got to look out there for. Jackson says, I'll be back. Going to make something to... Wait, what? Jackson says going to make someone to eat. That's a big typo. Something I was about to say. That's a little messed up, don't you think? Anyways, so here's something I do want to show you guys here. Wow, Jackson. Wow. Anyways, let's go and move on back here to the models. This is something we haven't done so far. I want to go ahead and talk about the overall... possibility of these storms here for the night. So let's go ahead and move over here to the models really quickly in regard to the HRRR. Just to get an idea what these storms and what time they're going to leave and stuff like that. But anyway, so here's the thing. So obviously current time here is 9 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to follow along, like I said, if you want to follow along, the time's in the top right-hand corner there. We're going to go to 9 o'clock here. So obviously we are seeing ourselves a bit of stormage, obviously currently happening. I mean, that's pretty much a given at this point. Across the southeast here, obviously the Carolinas and portions of Georgia being impacted. According to the HRRR model, it really kind of shows those kind of dying out, kind of past 1 o'clock. We're definitely not going to be live that long. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, obviously, you know, not too many people will even be up during this, which honestly is kind of concerning. But honestly, as more of the time progresses, I feel like that tornado threat is actually diminishing. Honestly, like I said, I feel like the like I said, obviously, I kind of feel like the tornado threat is honestly kind of dropping as we are currently talking. I mean, we haven't had a few tornado warnings. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm knocking on it right now. We have not had a few tornado warnings in a little bit. So obviously, we have had a few on and off today across portions of the Carolinas, but as of reports wise, I don't think we've actually got any reported. And let me actually look at that. So here's the reports for the day. Tornadoes reports is clocking in at a 0. Yep, 0 reports for tornadoes today, which obviously is which is good. I mean, we don't want to deal with any tornadoes regardless, which is definitely a thing. But anyways, it looks like, let me see here. Did they actually remove that tornado possibility? They did. They removed the tornado possibility across portions of Florida. I guess we have a new day 1 convective outlook, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, now just isolated across portions of North and South Carolina. Right there, my friends. Okay, so we have ourselves that risk. They got rid of the one here in Nevada. So, here's the thing, guys. Okay, so here's the newest update. So now we have just severe weather being possible across portions of South and North Carolina. Obviously, that's kind of the thing there. They still have that tornado possibility, that relatively low chance. Like I said, obviously, once again, this is not a huge chance. It's not an absolutely crazy chance of tornadoes. No, it's just basically saying a few isolated tornadoes could be possible. But anyways, that's kind of what we are looking at. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys, I mean, honestly, these areas here should just watch out for this for the rest of the night. I feel like we're going to end live stream here relatively soon, just because, I really don't feel like this needs covered. I feel like the tornado threat is actually kind of dying out the more we go in. Knock on wood, obviously. Let's hope that does not, we don't get any flare-ups or anything like that. But just know, I mean, there's a small tornado chance here for today across portions of North and South Carolina. For example, areas here towards Charleston, Columbia, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, Jacksonville, Fayetteville, Florence. These locations are inside this tornado threat, this low tornado threat here. So, but honestly, like I said, I don't feel like I really don't feel like the rest of this should be really covered too much. I think it should be pretty much fine for the most part. We haven't really seen too many storms really fire off here for the most part. So, yeah, honestly, I think we are going to finish it off here for tonight. Tomorrow, we are going to do like I said, tomorrow we are going to do ourselves some coverage, or not really coverage, but for personal forecast for you guys. So everyone who is in the chat right now, you guys will be eligible to join us for tomorrow. We usually do members only personal forecast, but tomorrow we're just going to go ahead and straight up just do everyone's forecast, since we've been absolutely booked over the last few days. I mean, things have been nuts in regard to hurricanes, in regard to all kinds of crazy stuff. But luckily things are kind of dwindling down a little bit here for now, but we will definitely keep an eye on it. Now, like I said, obviously, tomorrow we are going to be doing zip code forecast for the people out there. So if you guys have a zip code you want me to forecast for, not tonight, wait for tomorrow. Not exactly sure what time that's going to be, but we'll do a extended range forecast for all of my friends out there, meaning all of you guys. So thank you all so much. And but you know what, my friends? Like I said, I think I might as well end it for now. I feel like I did give enough coverage for you guys here for tonight, just to give you an example of what we can look out for today. I feel like the people watching this live stream, we definitely have informed you that a few tornadoes, a tornado or two could be possible across North and South Carolina here for the rest of today. It's a possibility, although very low chance here, actually. Possibility of some damaging wind gusts as well. Obviously, the main concern from what I've actually seen here is, like I said, the main concern from what I've actually seen is actually the possibility of some flooding here. Let's see, Proxy, $30 super chat. Holy cow, Proxy, thank you so much again, dude. Guys, huge shout out. Once, as always, seriously, Proxy, dude, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Once again, big shout out. Proxy, thank you hugely again. Even all you guys, just for being here. Thank you once again, Gene, as well as Scott. You guys absolutely rock. You guys are the best. All of you guys, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. That definitely does mean a lot to me. And let's see, Self-Care says, great stream. Thanks, brother. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for another informative stream, Andrew. Great job as usual, says Proxy. Thank you so much for that. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, dude. I know I say it a lot. I know I say it all the time, but I truly mean it, dude. Thank you so much for that. It really helps us out. And obviously, great big thanks goes to you. But anyways, my friends, like I said, tomorrow we'll catch you guys on a, personal forecast live stream. If you guys will be interested, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications that you guys do not miss out. What has happened? You see my power flicker off there? But basically, like I said, obviously, that way you guys do not miss out any live streams or anything like that. So see, Nerd says, did I miss any tornadoes? Luckily, you did not, which is good. We did not have any tornadoes today, although we have a few tornado warnings that happened earlier. We also did have ourselves... a few damaging wind gusts that did happen today. A little bit of wind damage was reported, actually, apparently, according to the Storm Prediction Center. And we just seen that new risk just get pretty much downgraded for the most part. The tornado chance is still there, pretty low, but for the most part, it is mostly throughout. Honestly, like I said, the more we go into the nighttime hours, the more it just kind of dies out, honestly. But just don't be surprised if an isolated tornado did happen, although very low chance. It's nothing too extreme. But anyways, nothing too crazy, I should say. But in regard to mixture of flooding and damaging winds and tornadoes, that kind of makes it extreme, which we did see a lot of flooding being a possibility here for today. But anyways, before I end it, check out Tropical Depression 15. Okay, so let's actually move over here towards the. Let's see here. This is Tropical Depression number 15. Actually, hold on a minute. So. This, we usually don't cover these systems, but I tell you what, we can look at it really quickly. Where is 15 located? Looks like it might be the southern tip of India. I don't know. I don't think that this is... Yeah, I don't know if that's what India or not. I think that's actually western Pacific. But anyways, regardless, Tropical Depression 15. Let's see what satellite imagery really quickly. Whoa, that's quick. Let's see. Okay, a lot of disorganized shower and thunderstorm action still happening. It's getting a little bit better, though, from what it looks like. The central circulation is there. Has a lot of work to do still, but this was requested by you. We only have one. There's a whopping one model. There's a whopping one model right now on support from the hurricane models. A lot of ensembles. Yeah, showing this thing mostly out to sea. Doesn't really show any areas of land being impacted. But once again, we usually just don't really cover those areas anyways. But all right, guys, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up here once again for tonight. Thank you all for joining us here for today. Like I said, we are going to catch you guys here for tomorrow for the personal forecast for you guys. Obviously, we want you guys to be up to date. We want you guys to be prepared. Now, hold on a minute. Actually, before we head off here, something I did actually wanted to go ahead and show you guys really quickly. I actually forgot to do this. Actually, I wanted to talk about this really quickly. As I was mentioning, like I said, that cold front sweeping through the region here, look, here's the temperatures possibly tonight. This is something I did want to mention here in regard to the forecast here. Look at this. Those temperatures tonight could get into the 40s and 30s across portions of the central, northern plains, and portions of the Midwest and upper Midwest. Also across portions here of the Northwest, kind of across the Rockies of Montana, Wyoming. We could see some of those temperatures really dropping here. Tomorrow, obviously getting hot again. Very, very chilly across, or I wouldn't say chilly, but nice conditions. Not hot. Across portions of the Ohio Valley, cold front moving through. We are going to have that surface low I was talking about, guys, really start to ramp up across portions of the Midwest, tracking its way here to the east for the most part. Obviously, in regard to tomorrow night here, once again, look at that cool down. Once again, across the nation, diving a lot of cold and dry air across portions here of the country from the Canadian Maritime. Big old jet is going on there. Here is the satellite imagery just to kind of show you exactly what I'm looking at here. In regard to it, look at the satellite view. You can see this big old band coming down here. Look at that. It's actually pushing into the states, driving in a bunch of cold air from up north. Higher you go up north, the more cold it does get. So that's kind of why we're getting those colder temperatures. Just want to quickly mention that for you guys. But all right, we're going to go ahead and head off here right now. Thank you all for joining us here for tonight. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Obviously, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us on our Discord. Everything is down below if you guys do want to check out that. Our cool merchandise as well is also there for you all. Thank you all so much for joining us here for tonight. Once again, big shout out, as always, goes to Proxy. Thank you so much for that. Also, big shout out goes to Gene as well as Scott for helping out the channel today in regard to the donations. Greatly appreciated. You guys are absolutely generous. Thank you so much. Once again, from the bottom of my heart. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for joining us, and I will catch you all here in the next one. Peace out, y'all. See you tomorrow.
Seas around 2 feet. Bay and inland waters smooth. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Tuesday, west winds around 5 knots. Seas around 2 feet in the morning, then 1 foot or less. Bay and inland waters smooth. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Tuesday night, northwest winds around 5 knots, becoming east after midnight. Seas 1 foot or less. Bay and inland waters smooth. Numerous showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the evening. Wednesday, east winds around 5 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Bay and inland waters smooth. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then widespread showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Winds and seas higher and near thunderstorms. Your coastal waters forecast for the following marine location: coastal waters from Englewood to Tarpon Springs out 20 to 60 nautical miles. Issued at 8:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Rest of tonight, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Isolated showers and thunderstorms early this evening, then scattered showers and thunderstorms. Sunday, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Sunday night, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the evening. Monday, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the morning, then numerous showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Monday night, west winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Tuesday, west winds around 5 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Tuesday night, northwest winds around 5 knots, becoming northeast after midnight. Seas 1 foot or less. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday, east winds around 5 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Numerous showers and thunderstorms. Winds and seas higher and near thunderstorms. Your coastal waters forecast for the following marine location: coastal waters from Tarpon Springs to Swanee River out 20 nautical miles. Issued at 8:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Rest of tonight, south winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Bay and inland waters light chop. Isolated showers and thunderstorms. Sunday, south winds around 10 knots, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Seas around 2 feet. Bay and inland waters light chop. Scattered